Alright, hi y'all. This is user Nightworm360 and the game is Raidshadow and we are during the extra legendary event. We gonna look into that and we gonna do some summoning. So we gonna see what we gonna get. And also, I am still looking for some people to join in my clan. YWS 1397. I'm looking for at least 10 people so we can at least try clan versus clan, see what it do. But if you can, come on by. Okay, let's get that on out the way. Let's go on and get into it. Okay, so far to this event, summon any legendary champion to get a different extra one as a bonus. So, okay. I could do the 10 times summoning, or I could just do the regular one summon at a time, which I'ma think I'ma do, cause I doubt I'ma get anything, but we gonna see. We just gonna do the one at a time. I like to see what I'm getting. Okay, Lamellar level 1. Sacred Fang level 1 attacks one enemy, has 10% chance of placing a 30% decreased death debuff for 2 turns. Then Crystal Burst level 1 attacks all enemies. Ascended skill 3 attacks all enemies, places a 25% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns, damage based on HP. Die Hard level 1 decreases the damage taken by this champion by 30% when their HP drops below 30. Aurora increases allied HP in fraction crypts by 22%. Cool. Okay, Garl Horn, yeah. Ram level 1 attacks one enemy, damage increase according to how much HP this champion has lost. The attack cannot be a strong, critical, or weak hit. Oh, that kind of sucks. War Drum level 1 places a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Provoke Ascended skill 3 places a provoke debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Places 30% increased death buff on this champion for 2 turns. Determined level 1 places an unkillable buff on this champion for 2 turns. Okay, I remember now. And Aurora increases allied death in dungeons by 27%. Nice. Nice. Okay, Tree Fellow. I got that one, I believe. Pruning Limbs level 1 attacks one enemy, has a 35% chance of placing a 25% decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns. Chop Down attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 2.5 poison debuff for 2 turns. If you get to Ascended skill 3, each hit has a 50% chance of placing a 2.5 buzz poison debuff for 2 turns. Also, each hit has a 50% chance to place a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. And then Blasting Powder level 1 attacks 2 times at random. Each hit has a 70% chance of placing a bomb that detonates after 3 turns. Oh, okay. I wanted to say I had that one, but I don't know. I might not. I had to go back and check. That's interesting. Okay, a purple came in. What we got? What we got? Ooh, I like the armor. Rear Guard Sergeant. Ooh, it's an epic. Ooh. Crushing Impact level 1. Attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing a 60% decreased debuff for 2 turns. Flail Master level 1. Attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. And if you go to Ascended Skill 3, it also heals this champion by 25% of damage inflicted. Also with that, attack all enemies has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. Nice. Fend them off. Places a 50% ally protection buff and a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Nice. Armor. Aurora increases force ally HP in all battles 33%. Ooh, I like her. Sweet. Bro. Okay, Fortress Groom, I remember him. Crew Trap level 1 attacks one enemy, has a 15% chance of placing a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns based on damage and attack. Devastating Wounds level 1 attacks all enemies, has 40% chance of placing a 50% heal reduction debuff for 2 turns. Mobile Fort level 1 heals all allies by 10% of their max HP and places 30% increased death buff on all allies for 2 turns. And then unlocks an Ascension level 3 increase ally death in dungeons by 23%. I believe I got them before, but I'm going to have to double check. Okay, Fleshmonger, I remember them. Through Butchery level 1 attacks one enemy 3 times. Fresh Meat level 1 places 25% increased attack and 15% increased crit rate buff on this champion for 2 turns. Grants a extra turn. Tornado Cleaver level 1 attacks all enemies, had a 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased death debuff for 2 turns, but if you get it to Ascended Skill 3, attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a 60% decreased death debuff for 2 turns. And then Aurora, ally attack in dungeons by 23%. Cool. Okay, I remember Mark. Dance of Blades level 1 attacks one enemies, has a 30% chance of placing a 30% decreased death debuff for 1 turn. Punishment of Gods attack all enemies, place a 25% decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns. Atomic Power level 1 places a block debuff on all allies for 1 turn, places a 30% increased death buff on all allies for 2 turns. If you get it to Ascended Skill 3, it becomes block debuffs on all allies for 1 turn at 60% increased death buff on all allies for 2 turns. Crossbowman, I think I know I got him. Snapshot level 1 attacks one enemy. Ascended Skill 3 attacks one enemy, has 15% chance of placing an extra hit. Sharp Eye level 1 places critical rate buff on target ally for 2 turns, grants an extra turn. And Blunted Arrow level 1 has a chance of placing a stun debuff 1 turn. Also a 50% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. But I remember them. Okay, another fleshmonger. So skill up. Bombarder. Bombard level 1 attacks one enemy. Ascended skill 3 attacks one enemy. Has 5% chance of increasing duration of all buffs by 1 turn based on attack. Skirmish tactic level 1 attacks one enemy. Places 30% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns if the attack is critical. Septic shot attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has 50% chance of placing a 2.5 poison debuff for 2 turns. And a rural ally critical rate on all battles by 12%. Okay, that's a different one. To girl. Bloodshed writes level 1 attacks one enemy, places a 25% increase attack buff on this champion for 2 turns if attack is critical. Manic chopping level 1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 20% chance of placing stun debuff for 1 turn. And unlocks at Ascension level 3, leave them gutted. Attack all enemies has 30% chance of increasing cooldowns of all each target skill by 2 turns. Okay. Courtier. Outmaneuver attacks one enemy. It has a 25% chance of placing freeze debuff for 1 turn. Disintegrate level 1 attacks one enemy 3 times. Each hit has a 30% chance of removing 1 random buff from target. And Whirling Blow, we gonna go right down to Ascended Skill. If you do Ascended Skill level 3, attacks all enemies 2 times, has a 33% chance of placing a 30% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns on a Ascended Skill 3. But if it's just regular, it's a 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. Okay, last shard. Mid-Tiers. Okay, dual scalpel level 1 attacks one enemy 2 times. Restraints attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing 15% decreased speed debuff for 2 turns. And Stimulant Elixir 1 places 30% increased death buff on all allies for 2 turns. If you change it to Ascended Skill 3, a 30% increased death buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a 15% increased speed buff on this champion for 2 turns. Okay, I think that was it. I don't know if I was supposed to, I guess. That was the one extra, I guess. Let's do how many more common can I do? Nah, I can't do 10 more common. So let's just do a couple of common. Okay, Sun Tribe. Inscribe Access level 1. Attacks one enemy. Heal this champion by 10% of damage inflicted. And Spirits of Verdict. Sacrifices HP equal 10% of this champion's max HP, then heals target allies 10% of their max HP. Also 40% chance of placing a 7.5 continuous heal buff on life for 1 turn. Damage based on HP. We'll just do 3. I'll do 2 more. Then we got Preacher. Holy Blow attacks one enemy, has a 25% of placing a decreased attack debuff for 1 turn. Okay, and then another war boy, which plunder attacks one enemy, has a 15% chance of placing vote debuff for one turn. I think I'm working on one more anyway. Okay, under the fragment summon, we got some, I think, done. Okay, let's see. I think it's done. Let's, Scallion. Ooh. Creepy, but I like it. Okay, let's take a look. Here we go. Nightmare Kupish. Attacks one enemy, has 20% chance of placing a block active skill debuff for one turn, damage based on attack. Block active skills. Evil Seed level 1 attacks one enemy and places block buffs, debuffs, 100% heal reduction, debuff for 2 turns. Will ignore any shield buff. Ooh, based on attack. Crawling Chaos level 1 removes all debuffs from this champion, then attacks all enemies, places a 50% increased attack buff and a 30% increased critical damage buff on this champion for one turn after attacking. Then unlock at Ascension level 3 Incarnate P level 1. Enemies under block active skill, block buffs, and heal reduction debuffs cannot decrease this champion's turn meter. Ooh. And Aurora, adequate critical rate in dungeons by 24%. Nice. And then I think the other one, I just got some little bitty pieces and it's slowly. Yeah, I ain't got nobody else. I don't be fooling with them shards like that. Nice. 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 So like I said, I'll probably end up soon as whatever the nearest monster get increased, I put that new one in so it can get upgraded. Alright. But that is all we have on the summon during the extra legendary event. If there's anything else on Raidshadow Legends you would like to see more of, put in the comments below, and we'll do a video on it. This is User Nightworm 360 and the game is Raidshadow Legends. I will catch y'all later.